What's going on, guys? It's hashtag Ask Lauren. Oh my, we are over 50,000 subs. It's crazy! Thank you for watching. You guys rock. I love Fridays because you ask so many good questions for hashtag Ask Lauren. Today, I'm going to talk about one. I get a few questions like this. I've compiled it into one because I can't find all of them. But a few people have asked what my thoughts on marriage are and if I want to marry John and if John and I plan on having kids and discussing all of those things that people do in life. Yeah, you've seen John on my channel and we have been dating for, when did we meet? 2.5 years ago. So what is that? That's 2013, March 2013. That would mean we're almost at 3 years. Do you love how I don't know? Sorry, we're almost at 3 years. Okay, March 2013 is when we met. You can go watch how we met. I'll link it here and in the description below if you want the full shebang story. And we lived together and we bought that house that you've seen. So we will be moving into that March 2016, I guess 3 years after being together. So marriage. I used to be really anti-marriage. I used to basically say I never wanted to get married and I never wanted to have kids. And so most people my age are already married and have kids, already married and plan on having kids, or not everybody. I think it's a modern day and there's a lot of older people who don't do those things. And I've just basically been somebody who never wanted to do those things. I just didn't picture them. I wasn't one of those girls that grew up like pretending to get married in my brain and pictured my wedding dress and like got all goo goo gaga about that. Or kids. I don't even get really very emotional about this kind of stuff. It's never been a desire of mine. And there's probably lots of reasons for that, like my upbringing or my parents or, I don't know, movies and television. Like, I'm sure it's a lot of things, but I just never cared about it. And I always thought, what's the point of getting married? Like, I'm totally all about commitment and like loyalty. And I've had really only major relationships in my life with guys, not just like casual flings and things like this. I'm really about commitment. I just think you can commit without actually getting married. But I understand as I've gotten older that it is some people's desire to get married. And that maybe if John really wanted to get married, then maybe I would reconsider. We've talked about this. I get the sense he's not here, and I kind of wish he was here talking about this with me, but he's too busy and he's not here right now. I get the sense that he wants to get married. Like he's actually said that, but then I think I've almost like scared him because I'm always so like, oh God, marriage, no, like, oh, weddings, nah. Basically, I have no desire to like put on a wedding dress, have a bunch of people watch me walk down an aisle, blah, 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 have a reception, spend all that money. I honestly think it's a waste of money. I can't believe the amount of money people spend on weddings to me. It's insane. I think it's insane. That's just my personal opinion. Not to say I don't enjoy going to your weddings. All my friends are married and I loved going to the weddings and I was so happy for them and I loved watching them experience something that they really wanted to do and that's really important to them. So I don't sit there judging at a wedding being like, this is stupid. I just don't want to do it. And I do think it's crazy that people decide to spend that much money on something when they could put it towards something else, but that's neither here nor there and you can do whatever you want. And I love my friends and family members that have gotten married. It's just not for me, I don't think. So back to what do I want to do, and basically if I decided to get married, which I'm a little more open to the idea, like, okay, fine, maybe there are some financial benefits to being married, maybe there are some insurance benefits, blah, tax benefits, like that's where my brain goes. And I think, okay, so if we were to get married and we love each other, we want to commit to each other, and if it's important to John, or if soon I decide, okay, maybe I just want that extra commitment. I don't understand the idea of like committing out loud to everybody or having, I don't know, I'm just not very traditional. That's really what it comes down to, is that basically anything that you are supposed to do by like society's guidebook, I'm like, nope, not doing it. That's basically why I went vegetarian when I was a teenager, because it was like the sort of anti-mainstream thing to do. And I feel like anything like that, I do. So when it comes to marriage and kids, because it's on the list of supposed do's, you're supposed to get married, you're supposed to have a kid, you're supposed to do all these things. I usually am like, nope, I don't want to do it. So where was I going with that? Oh yeah, if I did get married though, it would just be between John and I wouldn't do a whole thing where I invite people, and I would probably just elope or go to City Hall, or like maybe if I could officiate Snickles into being my officiator, I would do that. But yeah, it's not on my mind. Like, a lot of people I know and encounter, I feel like they are very consumed by thoughts of and desires of getting married. I think a lot of people feel like they have a timeline or a deadline, and like they need to have it done by a certain time, and I don't understand that personally. I just like to do what I want to do and what I feel like I want to do, and for whatever reason I don't feel like that. So that's cool if you feel like that, but I guess I always just question, like, from people, is it coming from that real like desire place, or is it coming from like a state of like desperation or feeling like you're not part of the group? Or, I get that. That's a huge thing. Like, especially women feeling pressure to get married and have kids and all of these things. And parents don't help, and relatives, because they ask 1,000 questions, and everyone puts that pressure on you, and that really comes from society. So that's just why I blanket just go no. So that's the long answer. Oh, I had this thought. I mean, it kind of relates to it, and it's maybe like way too much information, but I had this thought because I was watching Mindy Project, and was it on Mindy Project? I have no idea where I got this idea into my head. Oh yeah, it was Mindy Project, because she opened up the fertility clinic. And I was like, maybe I should freeze my eggs. I had this thought because I was like, I don't want kids right now. And a lot of people say, and my friends who have kids, like Natalie has a son who's almost 8. And she even says, she thinks I'm gonna have kids. She's like, you are gonna change your mind. Like, I know people who were like, no kids, and then they like change their mind one day. Like, something happens. Like, the literal biological clock is an actual thing, says a lot of people. And so some people in my life are convinced that I'm being stubborn or something. There's a block and then I'll have kids. So anyway, my thought was that, well, I don't feel that now. Maybe I should freeze my eggs while they're still like pretty good. Probably. I'm not that old. And I didn't look into the cost. I don't know what it costs to like rent the freezer to like keep them in, and I don't know what the process is, but I just had that thought, and I thought I would share that with you because it did occur to me, which this would never have occurred to me even 10 years ago, the idea of freezing eggs, or even the thought of having a child. Like, I would say now, like, now that I'm with John and that I love John, and like I could see myself being with John forever, the idea of having a child is like mildly there, like, okay, like maybe it will happen. Like, I'm not doubting that maybe I could change my mind. I just don't see myself changing my mind, but I'm like, it's like I'm open to the idea that I possibly could change my mind, which is a step, because for my whole life up until recently, I would have been like, ugh, are you joking? Never. That's the worst idea of all time. That's where I stand on marriage and kids. I would love to hear your thoughts. Please don't take offense to anything I said if you're married and have kids. This is just how I feel. And if you desire certain things like that, you have all the power and magic in the world to make them happen, and you should totally go for it and do all the gushy things and wear the white dress. And I know so many girls want to do that, so I'm not trying to make you change your mind at all. So share away in the comments below. Thank you. I have a lot of questions for next week's Valentine's Day episode, where I said we were going to talk about sex and relationships and dating and get pretty nitty-gritty about it. And you guys did not hold back. I have some hilarious questions. Sorry, I shouldn't say they're hilarious. They're hilarious because they're so forward, but they're not funny. Sex is not a funny matter. So we will talk seriously about a lot of these things next week. It's probably going to be a really long episode. I have enough questions, but if you really have something cool, leave it in the comments, because I will see it, and I'll have to just pick and choose the best questions, because I won't be able to do all of them, but I will try to get through most of them. So that's coming to you next Friday for #AskLauren, the Valentine's Day episode. Thanks for watching, guys. You are honestly the best, and I'm having so much fun doing this YouTube thing. I'm just sitting here in my house at 6:30 at night, and I'm shooting a video, and I'm gonna edit it, and then take the actual Friday off because I've done all my work. So anyway, love it. Love you guys. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.